This is your WW3 news. Not this time to demonise EVs, but if you intention to buy an EV, be sure to know this first. This is what the car dealers won't tell you when you buy it. They're there at the sale and afterwards. When you take the car out of the dealer, it's your problem. It's not regarding the vehicle itself or the quality or reliability. It's the charging. Here in Italy, like any part of Europe, there are charging points, public, or if you have a private one, lucky enough to have a garage or driveway, fair enough. But when you have to rely on public charging points, mainly who runs these so-called charging points, they have a different application on the mobile phone. It's not one universal you can use for them around. Probably one of the best applications for EV in Italy is Charge Maps. That basically tells you where they are, where they work, and whether it's an AC or DC charging device. It's very important, and so on, and probably costs of kilowatt hours and so on, which you pay. But mind you, you do pay for kilowatt hours, whether it could be, don't know, 60 to 90 cents a kilowatt hour. And regarding the two types of charging points, probably the DCs, the superchargers, which probably an hour or so tops your vehicle up, give you sufficient autonomy to arrive where you have to go, basically. And there's the AC, which is a more traditional long charging, 6 or 8 hours. But mind you, do be careful if you leave your vehicle on those long periods of charging periods, because after time is up and every minute passes you get charged for, and therefore your so-called charging bill will be a lot more expensive than you usually do. Costs vary from who runs these meters, company to company. But mind you, they've got all one thing in common: they are very dear regarding the price of kilowatt hour you charge from home. Like, you have to rely on it. You have to do long journeys with it's on the motorway from the service station. They do have these things, or in supermarkets or public car parks. Basically, they do have them, and new buildings by law require space for charging points for EVs. And these are the things you have to be careful. And even in hidden surcharges, they charge you to a certain point, but what you really receive in kilowatt hours as the charge itself is not exactly 100%. It could be 80% due to the limit of the batteries, and then afterwards the rest they charge you a tax on it, which is not a fiscal stamp duty or whatever. That's what the companies, you know, get. Because basically, who runs these public chargers is not exactly what you call an investment. It needs a lot of money for the infrastructure, especially if you want to create a type of service station. And obviously an infrastructure for the energy supply is another story. It's costly. It's not like a petrol station which you have profits. these charging stations, as costs can even break even if you're lucky enough. And this is information before you buy an EV. You got to know the costs of charging through public, whether it's an AC or DC charging point, there's a difference, or charging times, and the costs for kilowatt hours. And every company who runs these things have got their own app differently. There's nothing which is a universal thing. App would be a lot more better. I think who has a Tesla are more lucky, because behind it there is a more organisation regarding the charging points where they are available in the countries where they sell these vehicles.